Every so often, people like to rile up Beatles Twitter with discourse about the band's music, personnel or personal lives. One major tired discussion involves considering drummer Ringo Starr, who turns 80 on July 7, for being somehow musically inferior to bandmates John Lennon, Paul McCartney and George Harrison. "Stop talking ***T about the Beatles," one high-profile Twitter user wrote last year. Paul was melodic. John was innovative. George Harrison was spiritual. The poster left the tweet blank after Ringo's name, however, a lame attempt at humor that was meant to be a commentary on Starr's talent, or lack thereof. Luckily, the poster was rightfully dragged in the replies, with musicians and fans alike calling out Starr's versatility and consistency, his cool, timeless parts, and the joy he brought to the band. These replies are right, the Beatles' music is such a familiar part of pop culture, it's easy to take the band, and Starr's contributions to it, for granted. An avowed fan of early rock and roll, the drummer-born Richard Starkey learned the power of precision and understatement, and how a well-placed fill or run can do quite a bit of heavy lifting. A close listen to the Beatles, with a focus on Starr's parts, reveals as much. "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" is so spaced out and atmospheric in no small part due to Starr's subtle drumming, waltzing rhythms on the verse, vibe-giving cymbal crashes, the door knock beats leading into the choruses. "Come Together," in contrast, is tense and urgent due to rattlesnake coil drums and maracas, while melodic tambourine and easygoing beats gently nudge "Hey Jude" forward and help the song eventually take flight at the end. But while Starr's drumming and percussion style isn't flashy, it is lively and full of personality. That's certainly evident on the band's early work. His playing exudes joy, including and especially throughout a cover of the Shirelles' Boys, on which he sings lead, and the lilting "Please Please Me." And this amiable approach also made him uniquely suited to keep up with the Beatles' rapid stylistic evolution. In fact, no Beatles member was left in the dust despite the progress, which isn't always the case when bands grow and change. Starr in particular refined his core strengths, witness the patient shuffle of "Here Comes the Sun" and funky beat-keeping of "Taxman," and expanded his arsenal. On "Across the Universe," he notably played an Indian instrument called the spheramandal, which contributed to the song's psychedelic sheen. As a lead vocalist, his voice was droll but tender, and completely nonchalant. In fact, the jovial "With a Little Help from My Friends" and plaintive "Don't Pass Me By" both have a conversational tone, as if Starr is sitting next to you imparting wisdom. His slightly nasal twang is dosed with sincerity and sweetness on "Yellow Submarine," and the orchestrated lullaby "Good Night."